Yo, what is up? Karma here, back with another Cyberpunk video. Today we will be taking a look at Cyberware mods. In this one, we will focus on the Frontal Cortex. I'll be going over every single one that's available to show you exactly how they work, and also answer a very common question: do they even work? A couple of things to keep in mind before this video starts. If any of the information on this video changes, I will put it in the pinned comment below, so make sure to read that just in case. Also, I tested every single rarity of these mods, but for video length purposes, I will only be talking about the highest tier of each mod available. Regardless, I will list every tier with their effects for anyone wondering. So before I get into this one, if you found it informative or helpful in any way, a like rating is appreciated, and if you want to sub for more content, that would be great as well. Starting off with the Camilo Ram Manager. This one comes in two rarities. Here I have the legendary variant, which requires 16 intelligence and instantly restores 30% of your RAM when it drops to 2. There is also an epic variant, which requires 12 intelligence and restores 20% of your RAM. On paper, these sound fantastic. So basically, you have a set amount of RAM whenever you try to hack things, and every hack and quick hack takes up a certain amount of RAM. Well, once it reaches 2, the legendary one that I have should restore 30% of the max RAM. But unfortunately, this does not work right now. As you see in this gameplay, I waste all of my RAM and nothing is restored. And I have the legendary variant equipped. I also tried the epic one, didn't work. I also tried going into combat just in case, wasn't working. Then I thought, maybe it takes time, so I ran away from the enemies, constantly checking my RAM, and nothing was restoring. And then I tripped and I died. So there's that. So don't use them for now, as they don't work. Next up, we have XDisc. And these work as expected perfectly. The legendary I'm showing requires 18 intelligence and it increases your max RAM by 5. So if you have 12 RAM available and you buy this Cyberware mod and equip it, you'll now have 17. There are also epic and rare ones available for those with less intelligence attribute. Moving on to Heal on Kill. And this one also works perfectly. The legendary variant that I'm using requires 18 reflexes and restores 10% health when you kill an enemy. Now watch this gameplay. My max health is 350. 10% of that is 35. So if I kill an enemy, I should restore 35 health. So right now, my health is 204. And if I kill this enemy, my health went up to 239, which is that 35 increase. So yes, this one does work. It gave me that perfect 10% increase to my health. There's also an epic one, which requires 14 reflexes and restores 6% health. The uncommon one requires 10 reflexes and restores 3% health. And the common one requires 8 reflexes and restores 2% health. Moving on to the Mechatronic Core, this one is a legendary variant that I have, requires 16 technical ability, and it deals 50% more damage to drones and robots. And yes, this one does work. This one took me a little while to test, but once I finally found a robot, took forever by the way, I respect all my skill points, then I used a low level weapon to shoot a robot. Without the Cyberware mod, my damage was fluctuating between 9 and 10, and once I went to equip the Mechatronic Core, it went up 50%. I was doing like 15-16 damage. Keep in mind, I was using low level weapons and no skill points. You didn't see much of a difference here, but 50% extra damage is actually a lot. So basically, if you deal 20k damage and you equip this to robots, you'll do an extra 10k. So if somehow you find yourself always fighting robots, which is not the case for me, then make sure to use it. This one comes in all rarities, so you don't need to be really high in technical ability, keep that in mind. Next up, we have Memory Boost. And this one also works perfectly. I have the rare variant, which requires 12 intelligence and instantly restores 3 RAM units when defeating an enemy. So I'm gonna go ahead and use this system reset in this gameplay on these guys, and it's gonna bring me down to just 3 RAM units. Then if I go ahead and defeat one of them, it's gonna take me up to 6. So there you go, it worked. And best of all, there is no cooldown. As you see, after killing the other 2, I received 6 more. This one also comes in different rarities, which I listed on screen right now. Moving on to the Visual Cortex support. This one increases crit damage. And yes, this one definitely works, and I'm really happy about it. So I'm using this legendary variant which requires 16 intelligence and increases crit damage by 45%. As you see in my stat page right now, it says 134% crit damage without the mod. And once I equip it, it goes up to 179%. And of course, one thing is it appearing on the stat page, another thing is it actually working. So I went ahead and tested this on a few enemies, and my range of crit damages was definitely increasing that damage accordingly. So if you have any questions, I recommend that you watch my video on crit damage and chance stats. I will link it down in the pinned comment below. It should clear any questions you might have about it. Moving on to the Limbic System Enhancement. This one increases your crit chance. The legendary one requires 15 intelligence and increases your crit chance by 25%. This one also seems to work as it increases my stat page. So as you can see right now, my crit chance is at 2%. Once I buy it and equip it, it goes up to 27%. And yes, again, I also tested this. What I did is I took a weapon with no crit chance in its weapon card. So that means that the only crit chance it was getting was the 2% from the stat page. And you guessed it, I was hardly ever getting any crits. Once I equipped this legendary limbic system, the amount of crits I was getting was so obvious that I was getting 25% more. And obviously, this is not going to be impactful on a level 50 character with level 50 weapons, because you're going to be critting everything regardless, but it is definitely noticeable in this case. Moving on to Selv's Eyes. This one can only be rare and requires 10 intelligence. It will make you immune to being hacked by enemies, and if you didn't know or you haven't noticed, once you are max level, you don't really get hacked. It's like the enemies become too weak to do so or something. I don't know, I just never get hacked anymore. So this is for early and mid game players. And yes, this one does work. I went ahead and used the level 30 character to find Netrunner, and he was actually able to hack me and burn me. Once I equipped this mod, he tried and tried but could not hack me, so it does work. There is a 45-second cooldown, so keep that in mind. And finally, for the last Frontal Cortex implant, we have RAM Upgrade. This one increases RAM recovery rate. I do have a rare one which increases it by 0.15 units per second, and I did a simple test. I wasted 4 RAM units and waited for the recovery. Without this RAM upgrade, it took around 9 seconds to recover 4 units, and when I equipped it, it only took 6 seconds. So yes, this one is definitely worth it and definitely worked. It was pretty noticeable. So if you're running a Netrunner build and you don't have that good of a recovery rate, this one really helps. But anyways guys, that is the end of the video. Let me know what you all think about this, and let me know which Cyberware implants you would like me to cover next. Hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, a like rating is appreciated. And if you want to sub for more content like this, that would be great as well. Have a good rest of your day, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace out.